Testing. Seems okay.
Yeah, I know it does. But if it starts to get fuzzy, it starts to cut in and out,
Yeah, I'll change.
just swap over to that.
Okay.
I'm just trying to be less glitches in meditation, my experience.
I'll use my teacher voice.
Oh,
You know, I'm a former school teacher also.
Yeah.
I taught Spanish and ESL.
muy bien.
Yeah, but a long time ago, 14 years.
Entonces, aquí está el otro.
Micrófono.
Sí, sí, algo es roto ahí, entonces usa eso.
¿Cómo no?
Por supuesto.
Well, you're pretty good. One more minute. Just waiting for any stragglers. So good morning, everybody, and good morning to all of you who are here in person and online. My name is Grace McManus, and I'm one of the licensed practitioners, which my mic just went under. Let me try the new one. Okay. Can you hear me okay? So, as I said, I'm Grace McManus. I'm one of the licensed practitioners at the Center for Spiritual Living in Prescott. And it is my pleasure to offer you this meditation this morning. And our theme for this month is called The Call of the Soul. So, just sit and relax where you are right now. And you can close your eyes if you wish. And if you're seated, become comfortable in your chairs. And let your shoulders drop. And release any tension or any fear or any unpleasant thought right now as we settle into this time for meditation. Clear your mind as you listen to these words. And after, we will settle into a few moments of silence. As I said, the theme for the month is to answer the call of your soul. For me, to hear the call of my soul, I must come to an awakening like the Buddha did. This awakening directs my soul toward its true purpose. To contemplate this idea, I will read a short story from the author Mark Nepo from his book, The Awakening. Take in these words and reflect on the message within. There was a woman who found a folded sponge all dried and compressed and tucked into the hardened fold with a message she had been seeking. She carried the hardened sponge to the sea and up to her waist in the deep, and she watched it unfold and come to life in the water. Magically, the secret of life became visible in the bubbles released from the sponge. And to her amazement, a small fish, trapped in sleep in the hardened sponge, came alive and swept out to the sea. From that day on, no matter where she went, she felt the little fish swimming in the deep, and this, the swimming of the fish, who had for so long been asleep, gave her a satisfaction that was somewhere between peace and joy. Whatever our path, whatever the color or grain of our days, whatever riddles we must solve to stay alive, the secret of life always has to do with awakening and freeing what has been asleep. So think about that for a moment. What do you need to free from your consciousness so that you can become totally awake? Like that sponge, our very heart begs to unfold in the waters of our experience. And like that little fish, the soul is a tiny thing that brings us peace and joy when we let it swim. Now meditate on this message that is contained in this short story. Whatever brings you love or peace or joy, that is the calling of your soul and also of your heart. As we abandon our prisons of wrong thinking, we begin to walk in the freedom. The call of the soul beckons us to do so. So let us go into the silence for the next few minutes as we reflect on our own personal call of our souls. So I ask you right now, have you thought about what you can release and let go of that is impeding the growth of your soul? And I give you a moment to just contemplate that. Have you released that? Are there any judgments or anger or resentments or feelings you might have that stop you from this joy that is always present and there for us? Now, if you wish, you may open your eyes as we come back into the sanctuary. And I thank all of you for attending and letting me share this with you today. Namaste.
Good morning. And welcome to everyone here in the sanctuary at the Center for Spiritual Living, Prescott, Arizona, and to all of those out there online. A few announcements. We now have sign-up sheets on clipboards for candle lighters, greeters, and to buy flowers for our beautiful sanctuary. Sign-ups are out near the door on the table. There is a board meeting today after service at 12 noon. And today is National Helen Keller Day. So a big shout out to all those, especially our own Bob Jocelyn, who makes sound and music visible. And lastly, happy birthday to Gina.
Good morning again. So my name is Grace McManus, and I'm one of the licensed practitioners. And for those of you who are new here, what practitioners do is we like to teach and we pray. So I'm going to ask you for a moment to just sit still as we go into the invocation. So knowing that divine presence that is always within each and every living thing that exists within the universe, and it manifesting itself as love, as joy, as peace, and many, many other qualities, too many to name at this point. And I know that for each and every one of us, we are a reflection of that divine essence, and that this service today is exactly what is needed. And I am grateful for the opportunity to serve as I release this invocation into the law, knowing it is done unto us exactly as we believe, and so it is.
Good morning, everybody. I just feel compelled to quickly share. If you were here last week, you know I confessed to to not following principle when the speakers didn't work. And I thought, well, I'm singing, I don't worry about a thing, but I was like, wow, that wasn't true. I did worry about that. So lo and behold, the Spirit gave me another chance because I walk in today, and once again, the speakers didn't work. And I started to worry, but guess what? I said, oh, here's another chance. And I was grateful for that, so I said, I'm not going to worry about a thing. And can you hear the speakers on, ladies and gentlemen? So, lesson learned. The principles are true, ladies and gentlemen. So please stand and join with me affirming that, because anything is possible because I believe. Clapping is optional, but fun. Because this is an Eddie Watkins song, y'all. It goes like this. I said anything is possible, 'cause I believe. I said anything is possible, 'cause I believe. I said faith can make a mountain move, 'cause I believe. I said faith can make a mountain move, 'cause I believe. Well, I know that I can change my life I believe, yeah. I said I know that I can change my life because I believe in myself, in myself, in myself, in myself. Well, I'm gonna make a miracle because I believe. I said I'm gonna make a miracle because I believe. Well, everything I want I got because I believe. I said everything I want I got because I believe in myself. In myself. In myself. In myself. Well, I believe in me, so I believe in you. And since we believe in each other, well, there just ain't nothing that we can't do. Because we can make a miracle, make a miracle, we can make a miracle, make a miracle, we can make a miracle, make a miracle, we can make a miracle, make a miracle.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. My name is Reverend Kathleen Sibley, and I think I forgot to turn on my mic today. I get another chance. Hold on. Yep. You know, this stuff only works when we are connected to the power, one power. And so, whoa, goodness gracious. And when you are connected to the power, it makes many loud noises. Just me, I have to get dressed. You guys, close your eyes or go get some more coffee or whatever. My name is Reverend Kathleen Sibley. It is my joy to minister to you in stereo today. Please know that whoever you are and whatever dorkiness you did on camera so far today you are entirely welcome here just as you are and just as you are not. The Center for Spiritual Living exists to provide the spiritual tools that transform our lives and make the world a better place. Helping us out with that is our circle of licensed professional practitioners, including Grace, who you've already heard from. So if there is anything that is making you feel less than your own thinking, your own experiences in life, maybe something is not happening as you think it should, it's good, but it could be better, maybe. Please make contact with our licensed professional practitioners. They will be here at the front of the platform after service to do what we call a 3-minute miracle. That is our form of prayer that we employ to help you create what you want. So notice I said 3 minutes. There will not be time to tell the whole story of who done you wrong. This is not a country song. This is you saying what you do want rather than what you don't want. Yes? Okay, because there's power in that. So you can meet them in the front of the platform after service. You can send an email directly to the office or directly to a practitioner individually. You can make an appointment and see them one-on-one. You could even, I don't know, take a class and really get to know how to do this stuff for yourself. But one way or another, if you would like to put in a request with the Ministry of Prayer, there's forms here on the back of the back pocket of each seat, and you could also do that online. We gather together on Mondays at 10 a.m. and pray as a group, and then we pray on those throughout the week. So there are many, many different ways to get support here. And there are so many different kinds of support to be had through the different practices. We love prayer the best. And, as I said, there's many different kinds of practices and many different faith traditions. And so I'll ask our ladies to come up. Because one of the things we know is that the Center for Spiritual Living is safe in honoring all faith traditions. As we light a candle for the world's religions, it is to acknowledge both our multiplicity and our unity.
We light a candle for Christianity based on the teachings of Jesus the Christ, who taught the path of love, forgiveness, and healing by the presence within.
For Islam, the practice of submitting to the will of God as revealed through his prophets, peace be upon them, who taught that there is one God, creator of the heavens and the earth.
For Judaism, a community of shared laws, traditions, and family ties, which began with the covenant between Abraham and God.
For Buddhism, the middle path that ends suffering and awakens mindfulness and compassion.
For Hinduism, the path of knowledge, action, and devotion.
For the Native American and indigenous traditions, here in the Southwest of North America, we say those who walk the good red road, including the ancestral caretakers of this land, the people of the sun that we know as the Yavapai.
And for Baha'i, the path of unity and peace.
For all of the goddess traditions, embracing the divine feminine as maiden, mother, and crone or wisdom keeper.
And for the science of mind, which is the philosophy of life that teaches there is a power for good in the universe and we can use it.
And we stand in our own truth as we say our affirmation together. We are here for God. Our purpose is to express the nature of God as love, abundance, and joy in everything we do. The good we seek for ourselves is what we desire for all people everywhere. And so it is.
Sing this with me. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know. Still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know. Well, be still. Be still and know. Be still and know. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know. Be still and know. Be still and know.
So let us be still and know that that divine is everywhere, is omnipotent, is omnipresent, is all-knowing. And in each and every one of us is an individualized expression of that divine. We see it everywhere in life, in every aspect of life. So take these thoughts in as we contemplate that we do know that we are all connected to the one mind. And as we take a moment right now, let us digest these thoughts. So, let us return to the sanctuary and remember the words of our founder, Ernest Holmes, that there is nothing to discover, just to uncover that knowing, that knowingness of the fact that all of us are one, and so it is.
Well, there's one thing I definitely know, and I'm very grateful for our soloists today. I do know that. And from the head shakes, I see many of you all are as well. For the first time in about a year, I think, in person here, it's Celia, everybody.
Good morning. I was just thinking about the last time I stood up here was in March of 2020, and I looked out and I said, I'm going to soak you in because I don't know the next time I will perform for a live audience, which was true. So I'm soaking you in again because this is the bookend. Yay, awesome. Yeah. So there I was this morning, driving up from Phoenix. I stopped at the Circle K to get some coffee. The gentleman next to me asked if I was a fortune teller. I said yes. I said, I see good things in your future. And then it opened him up, and he started kind of pontificating about the world and how scary it is, and what do we trust, and who do we trust, and what is out there. And then he started thinking about what does he trust even with in his own thinking. And as I drove away and I drove up here, I thought, when I can't trust my own thinking, my soul already knows. Happiness and peace reside within your heart. Your soul already knows. Your soul already knows. You have the courage to take action, the clarity to start. Your soul already knows. Your soul already knows. Oh, trust your beautiful soul. Let go. Let your life's light shine you home. You are a blessing made for miracles. You are so dear. You are important and your soul is welcome here. You are pure potential, yearning to express. Your soul already knows. Your soul already knows. Connect to your soul's wisdom. Let go of the rest. Your soul already knows. Your soul already knows. Oh, trust your beautiful soul. Let go. Let your life's light shine you home. You are a blessing made for miracles. You are so dear. You are important and your soul is welcome here. Trust your beautiful soul. Trust what you already know. Trust your beautiful soul to guide your heart. Trust your beautiful soul. Let go. Let your life's light shine you home. You are a blessing made for miracles. You are so dear. You are important and your soul is welcome here. You need not fear. Oh, your soul is clear. You're welcome here. Oh, you're needed here.
That's right. I want to just like say, okay, never mind. I don't want to do the talk. Let's just listen to her some more. Yeah? Hey. You know, I have been accused of being a fortune teller too, and it's true. I am psychic, but I'm nearsighted. I only see things as they happen. Sorry. Anyway, this is the week we're talking about the soul's call. Actually, we've been talking about it all month, talking about how you can trust what is within you. Everything that song said, you exactly as you are not, are important to the continued functioning of the multiverse. If you didn't show up as you are, if God couldn't express exactly as it does as you, this world would be missing something. The divine would be missing something and therefore would not be divine. We say that the divine or God or whatever name you like for it, Harry, Joe, Curly, I don't care, Shem. Was it Shem or Shemp? Shemp, sorry, obviously. Anyway, I had 2 donuts and they had sugar. And we're back. We're editing this, right? No. Okay. So, when the soul calls, when God calls and wants to express as us, we say that God is perfect with a capital P. In the Christian tradition, the master teacher Jesus is said to have said, "Be thou perfect as your Father in heaven is perfect." He did not mean give yourself an ulcer trying to never make a mistake. I tried that. By high school, I was being treated for ulcers and weekly migraines because I was a stress kid. I would lose like 2 days per week to all of that. And I still graduated. However, perfect, a better translation would be whole. Perfect in this case means lacking nothing and with nothing extra. So if you showed up as you are, no matter what judgments you have about it, how judgments you have about your own bad jokes, judgments the nuns had about my own bad jokes, judgments about your gender identity, judgment about how you dress, judgment about how much money you make, who you're with, whether or not you lived up to your parents' expectations or down to them, for heaven's sake. The divine needed to show up exactly as you, just as you are, or it would no longer be perfect. There would be something missing. Yes? Yes. Okay. You're allowed to type yes if you're online, by the way. That works too. So I just want to make it really clear what the soul's call is. Ernest Holmes, who's the founder of this philosophy and literally wrote the books, actually. He started writing in 1918, and his last book was published during his life, 1959. And that was A New Design for Living. There were other books that were sent out posthumously, but, and from what I understand, if you go to the archives, there's all of these little napkins where he would scribble. Or he would pull the paper out of his dry cleaning and just write on that. Because why not? It's paper, right? Yes. And yes, we still have it. So he was very clear, and he used this as a symbol. This is what we call our teaching symbol. Contrary to what some people have asked me, no, the V does not stand for visitors. We are not waiting for the mothership. If we are, it's late. I want the e-ticket. So the top, this is actually, it's a circle, for those of you who can't tell. It's a circle with two lines going through it across and a V in the middle. Few people know that before he became Dr. Ernest Holmes, or actually Reverend Dr. Ernest Holmes, he worked for Parks and Recreation for the city of Ventura. If you take out the two horizontal lines, that's the symbol for the city of Ventura. God shows up everywhere. There are sermons in stones and logos. Logos is a whole nother issue because that's a word in Greek anyway. The top part is what we call principle or spirit. Now, I know that people have different definitions for spirit and soul. Depending on which philosopher you get to, these can be flipped. For the purposes of science of mind alone, and I am not calling anyone else wrong, but they are, the top part is spirit or God. It is pure principle. It is completely impersonal. It doesn't care what language you pray in. It doesn't care whether you kneel, sit, stand, or prostrate yourself. It doesn't care if you levitate 3 feet off the ground in order to pray. There's an old joke about, well, the way I understood it, there's an old joke about God finally has someone he's been waiting for sit down and pray, and the person is polite, so they say, "So how have you been?" "Oh, I'm so hungry. I haven't eaten in 30 days. God, why haven't you eaten in 30 days? I didn't want my mouth to be full in case you called on me. We got rid of that God, by the way. So the top part is completely impersonal. It's like electricity. It's like any other energy. The electricity, if you turn on the light in a room you haven't been in a while, the electricity doesn't sit there and be like, I don't know, maybe I don't want to just come because you called, finally. It's not waiting for your text. It's not going to damn you or smite you because you did things a different way for a while. It simply is. And it is always available. Always, always, always. When we sit down to pray or meditate, we're not doing it to help God out. We're doing it because it's good for us. It helps us physically, it helps us emotionally, it helps us spiritually. It's a good thing. So I don't care where or when you sit down to pray or stand up to pray or kneel down to pray. I just care that you do it. Yes? The middle part is what we call soul. This is where the divine infinite gets personalized. And then the bottom part, as we understand it, that's the physical world. So the divine has an idea. Yes, I'm going for the seed, soil, plant. Me and my prac students actually have discussed creating a dance to explain seed, soil, plant. So the seed is the idea. It gets planted in our soul, which is the soil, hopefully fertile, and it comes out as a plant. It's really that simple. The entire workings of the multiverse are that simple. The circle around it is very important to remind us that whether we're talking about seed, soil, or plant, it's all divine. It's all the good stuff. Now, in science of mind, what we often do is we go to a practitioner and we say, okay, so in my soil, in my soul, I'm holding this belief of unworthiness. And so I am here to talk to you about that, figure out where it came from, get rid of it, and live a life more worthy of who I really am. A life that is fuller and richer. Jesus, the master teacher, is said to have said that he came that we may have life and have it more abundantly. He's here, or his teachings were here to clean this part up. We talk about all of our mental conflicts, all of our false beliefs, they live in there. And when you take the purity of spirit and you pour it through the sieve of our soul, it sometimes gets some gucky stuff on it. And then when we manifest, rather than manifesting what we really want, we manifest what we actually believe is true. We are told that it is done unto us according to our belief, not what we think we believe, not the right answer on the test, not what we think one of the reverends or a practitioner wants to hear, not what is socially acceptable, what we actually believe. And so most of us have been to practitioners or therapists, or in my case, hairdresser and nail person. All of them, we have our friends that we go to talk about these things that we believe and to agree on them. To agree that, as the person Celia ran into said, it's scary out there. Everybody knows there's another depression coming. Everybody knows that the smoke we smell is the fire on its way to burn us out. Everybody knows that. Did you know you're dying? Right here, right now. So frickin' what? The question is, what are you going to do right up until that happens? I often say there's a graveyard full of people out there that have had near-life experiences. Too many people, including me some days, live our lives as if they're already over and we're just waiting for the check. Yeah? Yes. When we could be out there having fun. When we could be recognizing that the divine showed up as us and we're not showing it a very good time. We sometimes are God's worst date. Yeah? I mean, we're going to get a second date out of it, but what I want to focus on today is this middle part, because this is where the soul's call comes from. The soul's call is that thing that we're dreaming about. What we often forget in this teaching is that in here are all of the parts of us that when we were kids absolutely knew absolutely knew that we could fly if we jumped off the garage. Now, some of us just had to pretend because we didn't have a garage. But, you know, when I was little, I knew with all my heart I would make my living on a stage. I knew, and my mother knew because she told me, that I would be on Broadway someday. That my job was to be an actor. That who I was to sing and to dance and to express from a stage. Believe me, this is not what my Catholic mommy meant. And, you know, it's just a stage I'm going through. I hope not. It feels pretty solid. When you were little, did you ever pretend? Did you ever pretend anything? Did you ever pretend to be a superhero? Am I the only one that did this and was sure I was going to turn into Wonder Woman? I wanted my lasso of truth and my invisible airplane. When we are children, before we get told what all of our bad beliefs are, we have this ability to know, to maybe not be still, but to know with all of ourselves that there is magic in the world, and that if we will just be present with it. And have you ever watched a little kid try and walk down a street? Oh, look, and there's a bug right there, and ooh, flowers. Yes, I know you think they're weeds. I see flowers. And walking, ooh, walking. Have you ever watched a toddler? They have fun with their own feet. Those feet that had been in their mouths not all that long before, which was also fun. Little kids and animals are very good at staying present in the moment and not worrying too much about what they have been told they should be. Your soul's call requires you to let go of the past and whoever done you wrong and the way it used to be and the right way of doing things as explained to you in the Baltimore Catechism or whatever. It requires you to let go of who you think you should be by now, and why don't I have my PhD yet, and what do you mean I'm not married with 3.5 kids? It requires that you let go of how you think things should be and be right here, right now, so that you can hear your particular soul's call. We say that we are individualized expressions of the divine, that we are one, but not all the same. Each of us has to be in the world as ourselves as fully as we can. One of the things I woke up to as an adult is that, yes, I am to be on a stage, being somewhat outrageous, well, not a stage, a platform, but being a little outrageous sometimes and acting for all the world as the realest me I can be. The character, the only character I play, the only thing I channel is Kathleen. And I would ask, when was the last time you channeled you? When was the last time that you came to play the character, the starring role in your own life? I know that many of you are doing it all the time. Maybe it's time for you to take a bow and just acknowledge that you rock at this game, that you really should be getting Emmys and Oscars and Tonys for this one role that you play. And it's supposed to be play. We're supposed to be like little kids, allowing our imagination, the power of our imagination, which allows us to believe really strongly and really deeply in our own dreams, that we actually are welcome. Have you ever watched little kids? They show up on a playground, and if no adult tells them they're supposed to be shy and scared, they will walk up to somebody and say, "Will you be my friend?" And there's a yes, and then they go play together. It's none of this swipe left, swipe right stuff. You don't need, they don't walk up onto a playground going, "Well, let me finish my profile and make sure the picture's good." That's not how we do things. Little kids who are aware that they're already perfect, who are already sure of their welcome, who are being raised in healthy homes and given the truth about themselves don't have any problem with walking into a room full of people they haven't met yet and saying, hey, look, here's another 50 friends that are going to adore me. Now, sometimes, because our brains are built this way, we spend time worrying about what could go wrong. Or am I the only one who still balances her checkbook just in case? Okay. Our brains are built that way. Our brains are built to deal with the problems first, because once upon a time, the problem could be a saber-toothed tiger getting ready to bite you in the foot. But you know what? There are no saber-toothed tigers anymore. My cat thinks he's one. But most of the dangers that we are built to protect ourselves from never happen anymore. Thank God for what's called neuroplasticity. What that means is we can rewire these brains so that we're not on high alert all the time. One of the ways we do that is through prayer and meditation. We get new beliefs. The other thing that is, I'm genetically encoded. Epigenetics, ladies and gentlemen. We can change our DNA. All of this stuff is fun. And yes, I am telling you to pay attention to how you walk and the bugs on the sidewalk and all of the dandelions and everything else. And there is real science behind this. You can change your brain chemistry. You can change your DNA. You can make different things express. And the mystics have known for millennia. They didn't care about DNA. They didn't need to open up your brain, your head, in order to look at your brain and poke it and see what happens. The mystics knew that they were one with the divine, and that so is everyone else. The person you're sitting next to, look at him for a second. That's God. I know you think you're sitting alone, but, Elijah. I'm allowed to reference Judaism. It's okay. Here's the thing. There are many traditions in which people believe that babies are born into this world and then told, shh, don't talk, don't tell. How many have heard those stories? In the Talmud, it says that there is an angel that presses its finger, and that's why we have this little divot in our lip. And it says, shh, don't tell. Don't tell. Part of the joy of life, part of your soul's call, no matter how individually it expresses, is to remember that you, with all of your hang-ups, with however it worked out, are also the divine being. Can also call on that aspect of your own soul, that aspect of your own beingness to start over. To have a new day, to have a new thought, to recreate this world according to your greatest joy, according to your heart's desire. You have to be willing to listen to it. And let me tell you this too. Ernest Holmes taught us to pray in a certain way. And that is what I spend a lot of my time teaching people to do. We have 5 steps of treatment. It doesn't matter whether we have 1, 2, 12, or umpteen. We happen to teach 5 steps of treatment. I can teach anyone who wants to learn those 5 steps of treatment. For those of you who have been here for a while, they are whining, crying, moaning. No, okay, so just because you passed your prac exam doesn't mean you don't have to know this stuff. Recognition. We have a new cognition about God. We recognize the divine in a whole new way. The second one is unification. You can be writing this down on your screen too if you want. Unification. We recognize that God is all there is, and so we must be part of that. Third one. Realization. We realize that whatever it is we think we're missing, we already got because we're part of the infinite good. Third one. I know how I feel about numbers. I don't know how to count. I wasn't looking at my hand. God. Fourth one. Thanksgiving. Absolutely. We are grateful that Spirit works the way it works, and that whatever it was we thought we didn't have at the beginning of the prayer, we're grateful to have it. Fifth one, God, now I'm all messed up. Umpteenth one, release. This is the one with claw marks on it usually. This is where we say, okay, I have used my imagination. I have stated the way that I think the world should be. I'm going to let all of that go, and when I get up from my prayer chair, when I take the next step forward, I'm going to live as if I believed it. I can't teach anyone how to count apparently, but I can teach anyone the 5 steps of treatment. Here's what I can't teach you. Ernest Holmes says there's the technique and the fire. The fire comes from here. The fire comes from your particular soul. The fire is your imagination. The fire is your emotion. That perhaps some of us were told not to be quite so emotional. And now I'm going to tell you the opposite. Get really, really emotional. Cry, giggle, whatever. But feel it in your gut that whatever you're saying in your prayer is absolutely the truth, no matter how ridiculous it sounds. If you can do that, you can look at a swampland and see Disney World, just like Walt Disney did. You can go through hell and discover saunas. I don't know, something like that. There's absolutely nothing you cannot do if you will call in all of that soul's call and then speak it into being. How do we do that? Just like this. And so I ask you to join me in consciousness and take these words for your own if you so choose. There is one power and one presence. There is one life. It is perfect. It is what we call God. It is the energy of life and love itself. It is what creates light, and it is the light itself. This thing we call God is all there is. There is no second power. There's no Satan. There's no mistake, unfixable. There is absolutely nothing except this energy of life that is pouring through me and through all beings everywhere all the time. It is this one life, this one power, this absolute pure and perfect love that exists as me in the world right now. And as I speak my word, I recognize this about myself and every other being that is or has ever been on any planet. And I stand witness to these beautiful beings, all the wonderful ways that God has shown up on this planet right here and now. I speak my word for everyone who can hear my voice right now, no matter when or where they are. And I know that I am witnessing and speaking to the very face and the ear of God itself. I know that with all that is within me, it is the divine. It already is a Christed being. It already is a savior for my own soul. It is truth and beauty and love. It is creativity and joy and peace and power. It is all the good that is. And it is now already available to each and every one of us. And so I release all of those old ideas of lack and limitation. I release belief in poverty, in thinking that we can inherit sin, sickness, or death. Release and deny that those were ever true. Those were just a nightmare we had once. And we stand in the truth now. We stand in the light now. We stand accepting all of this love and all of this abundant and perfect good as our birthright. I speak my word right now, knowing that I am describing that which already is in the mind of God. And because I have witnessed it, because I see it, because I believe it, because I already know about it, I know that each and every one of us will see it made manifest in our lives as our joy, as the answer to our soul's call. I give thanks that this is simply how it works. It's as easy as flicking on a light switch, and it works every single time for every person who uses it. I am so grateful to know that the law of cause and effects works all the time, and it has already worked on this law, and so I release it and let it be, and so it is. Thank you. Please be seated. Allowing all of that good to wash over us, allowing all of that joy to wash over us, and all of that prosperity to wash over us does us no good if we don't also let it flow through us. And so this is the time in our service where we talk about donations and tithes and offerings. And what we're doing today, whether you tithe online or through text to tithe, or you put something in the abundance box that is out in the foyer, what we are doing is telling the universe that we want to be more firmly grounded in hearing our soul's call. We want to be more firmly ensconced in the truth of our being. And so whatever your gift may be, I ask you to hold your hands, and if that gift is something physical, that gift over your heart as we bless it by saying, divine love in and through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, life, and thank you, Celia.
Thank you. You know, I haven't been here in so long, the parking lot changed.
Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't sure where to turn. Well, I'm glad I made it.
Me too.
This has a la-la part in it, which you could sing if you want to. Do you want to? Okay, good. And there's no right or wrong. It's whatever's right for you. La, 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 nobody's singing, but you could be if you just la 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 la. Very nice. Don't you worry, that's gonna come around again. I'm playing in the clouds. Don't wanna come back down. Oh no, 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 no. I'm sliding down a rainbow, real slow. Don't wanna go. No, no, no. I'm free. That's how I want to be. It's not a word, but a feeling that I need. I'm a free. That's what I need. It's not a word, but a feeling. I think you know what I mean. You ready to laugh? La, 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 That's lovely. I'm balancing on rocks. Don't wanna go back to the shock of the masks of the asphalt jungle. I'm floating down the river. Blessed Mother, how sweet to soak my freed, 'cause I'm free. That's what I need. It's not a word, but a feeling that I need. I'm free. That's what I need. It's not a word, but a feeling. I think you know what I mean. Here we go. La, 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 la 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 la, la 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 la, la.
So is that particular song on an album somewhere, perhaps? It's on Patreon. So it's Patreon/Celia? Celia Farron, Farran. For those of you who would like to get songs like that and actually learn the la-la part so you can show off the next time she's here. It is our soul's call that allows us to be creative like that. Could you imagine if she didn't listen to her soul's call and she went on and became a fortune teller? We have a lot of creative people like that, and I heard an amazing haiku that I meant to use in my talk, and it's too good not to share. So thank you, Clay Smith, for allowing this. Meditating, I hear God speaking. Shh, I say, I'm meditating. Yes, I have spent the whole week going, shh, and then giggling for no apparent reason. Yeah, shh. So I want to propose that we begin the board meeting before 12 o'clock because it is only 11:25 here in Prescott land. So I would suggest maybe we begin at 1:15, and not just because I'm hungry. I want you to know that we are discussing some wonderful new ideas and some great stuff. Board, in our case, is not spelled B-O-R-E-D. We tend to only have them for about an hour. So if you are interested in what's going on with this center, I really do invite you to join us. If you are here for the first time, we would love it if you're online to please just write in where you're checking in from and let us know who you are so that we can send you our love and blessings. If you are physically in the room, we'd love it if you'd stand up and just tell us your name and how you ended up here, of all places. And if you were actually looking for the archery range, I do apologize for keeping you here for so long. The only rule is no one's allowed to elbow anybody right now. Anyone? Okay, we're all old hands at this game. Wonderful. So let us have our child come in. Yes. So in the immortal words of our forefathers, spit a verse, drop some knowledge.
Sure. So today we worked on one of our new affirmation, I'm pretty sure. Affirmative prayer?
Yep.
Yes. Okay.
So what's the project you're working on with this prayer?
What's our intention?
Are you trying to bring elephants into the room?
Oh no, we're trying to get more kids in the room.
Awesome. So my question to the congregation and to the congregation online is, if they write a prayer that calls in more youth, will we use it? Okay, just checking. I was listening to the people online for a moment. Actually, we will use it because we'll be adding it to the Sunday service for about 6 weeks, until we get the answer that we want. Yes? Yes. Okay. So you write it, and they will come.
We started with meditation, and then we visioned, and then we started writing, and then we heard Cecilia sing her first song, and we came in.
And then I started to talk, so they left.
Yeah, I know we did, but what we all realized as we're hearing Celia sing this incredible oneness that we all share, because words that Celia was singing in her first song, welcoming and stuff, are part of our prayer. And Erin, do you want to add more to that?
Yeah, it was just weirdly connected to the visioning that we had done and discussed. So thank you for emphasizing that.
You'd
for
think there
us,
was only
Celia.
one mind.
You'd think.
You know, sorry, the donuts are wearing off. I wonder if we could convince people like Jackson and Celia to perhaps take that song and the intention of that song and put it to music so that it was a song.
Our prayer.
I'm just saying it could
the
happen.
prayer.
Yeah, the
Oh,
prayer. The prayer could be a song.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, we're
When they're ready. I
Yeah.
heard it-
It's almost ready. We just wanted.
there was a lot in our vision, so there was a lot to get through.
Okay,
Yeah.
well.
So we'll get you words. We promise.
Okay.
We're not lacking words.
It's going to be a long song. Okay. So, in this moment, what I ask is that everybody stand up. If you're not comfortable holding hands right now, please just cross your hands over your heart. Otherwise, most people will reach for your hands. And we're going to do our benediction and sing our way out with the peace song. And what? Oh, it's Gina's birthday. Yes, that was announced at the very beginning. If we announce it again, does that mean she ages 2 years? No. But would you like us to sing for her? I do believe it's time to sing for Gina, who is turning, is it 21, my love? Is it 20? Are you turning 21 this year? 29 backwards. You know, there are times when not understanding numbers is good. Wonderful. So, happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Gina. Happy birthday to
For those of you who have never met her, Gina, who is 29 backwards, is one of the wise women and elders of our center. And I'd call her a crone, but she probably wouldn't recognize that as a term that she should find complimentary. But she is. And so, we speak for Gina when we say something wonderful is happening through me right now. It's happening through my mind, my body, and my affairs. I think it, I feel it, I know it, I accept it. Thank you, life.